The sky over Sol-9 burned crimson as the first fleet of the Clithian armada appeared. No planet in the known galaxy had resisted them for more than a single day. Entire civilizations had fallen to their laser bombardments and monstrous warships. But humanity, cornered and underestimated, had one advantage: unpredictability. Commander Arya Kane stood on the bridge of Horizon's Edge, the flagship of Earth's last defensive fleet. Sweat ran down her brow as she surveyed the massive alien fleet. Sensors showed 29 capital ships, 63 destroyers, and— "What is that?" Her eyes widened. A shadow loomed over the system, a Clithian dreadnought, larger than any station humans had ever built. "Sir," said Lieutenant Giro, "they're dropping a boarding pod. Hundreds of them heading straight for Sol-9's surface." Arya clenched her fists. Humanity didn't have the numbers, but they had courage, cunning, and sheer stubbornness. She activated the comms. "All planetary defenses, prepare for the impossible. Civilians, evacuate to bunkers. We fight and we do not fall quietly." On the surface, colonies scrambled. The Clithians expected terror, chaos, and submission. Instead, human engineers rigged improvised EMP cannons, and soldiers laid traps using scavenged alien tech. Children hid under reinforced bunkers. But their eyes watched the horizon with unshakable defiance. Hours later, the first wave hit. The Clithians were ready for a quick victory. But humans fought like cornered predators. Every building was a fortress, every street a gauntlet. The aliens found themselves overwhelmed by ingenuity, gravity wells, makeshift plasma mines, even hacking their own drones to fight their comrades. In orbit, Horizon's Edge launched a bold maneuver. Using the planet's atmosphere to sling the ship, Arya aimed straight at the dreadnought's main hull. "They think we are weak," she whispered. "They will learn. Humans are never predictable." And with a roar, the ship dove, cutting through the enemy fleet like fire through paper. Humanity's fight had begun, not with strength, but with courage that no alien could calculate. The battlefield of Sol-9 had turned into a living nightmare. Craters smoked, metal twisted, and the air was thick with the scent of ozone and burning fuel. Yet, despite the odds, humanity did not break. Every human on the planet knew that defeat meant extinction, and survival demanded ingenuity beyond what any alien had ever faced. Commander Arya Kane stood once more on the bridge of Horizon's Edge. Sensors showed the Clithians regrouping, preparing to unleash their orbital bombardment. But Arya's mind was already racing, calculating angles, probabilities, and the limits of human creativity. "We don't just defend," she said to her crew. "We hit back where it hurts, their command network. They think they control this fight. Let's show them they don't." On the surface, Captain Giro led a squad of engineers and soldiers through the ruins of the colony cities. They moved like ghosts, setting electromagnetic pulses and hacking into alien drones. Using the debris of shattered cities, they created makeshift catapults, railguns, and even improvised plasma cannons. Civilians watched in awe as ordinary humans became warriors, refusing to cower before monsters from the stars. The first counterstrike came at twilight. A squadron of human fighters, led by Arya herself, descended upon the Clithian dreadnought with precise precision. Lasers danced across the ship's hull, striking critical points the aliens never imagined. Explosions rippled through their fleet as hacked drones turned against them. On the ground, humans coordinated guerrilla strikes against the invading pods, turning narrow alleys into traps of death and fire. The aliens, used to absolute dominance, were thrown into chaos. Their communications jammed, their formations shattered. They had not counted on humans, unpredictable, audacious, and utterly relentless. Hours turned into a full day of relentless skirmishes. Every blow humanity struck carried not just firepower, but the unyielding spirit of a species that refused to bow. Even when outnumbered 10-1, humans adapted, learned, and exploited weaknesses faster than the Clithians could react. By nightfall, Sol-9 was scarred but still standing. The Clithian fleet, battered and disoriented, retreated momentarily to regroup. Humanity had survived the first counterstrike and sent a clear message to the galaxy. They were not to be underestimated. Commander Arya gazed at the horizon. The war was far from over, but for the first time, humans had taken the initiative. "We fight," she whispered, voice trembling with both exhaustion and resolve. "Not because we can win easily, but because we must." They will remember the name of humanity. The Clithian armada returned at dawn, their numbers larger, their fury unmatched. But Sol-9 had changed. Humanity had turned the planet into a fortress, and every human soldier, engineer, and civilian knew that today failure was not an option. Commander Arya Kane stood atop the command tower, overlooking the battlefield. The Clithians unleashed their full arsenal, orbital bombardments, massive drones and ground pods that could crush entire cities in seconds. Yet the humans fought with precision and creativity no alien could anticipate. Every crater became a trap, every ruined building a strategic advantage. Arya's voice rang through the comms. All units execute Operation Iron Resolve. Today we make them remember why humans survive where others fall. From orbit, Horizon's Edge led a daring maneuver. Using the planet's magnetic field, the ship generated a pulse that disabled a large portion of the Clithian fleet. Ground forces, equipped with EMP cannons and repurposed alien tech, followed the momentary confusion with devastating effect. The humans had learned to weaponize everything, from falling debris to the aliens' own drones. In the chaos, Lieutenant Jiro led a strike team directly to the Clithian Dreadnought's command core. Each step was perilous, the air thick with fire and smoke, yet they pressed on. Humans adapted at every turn, improvising weapons using cover, and exploiting weaknesses no alien could anticipate. By sheer courage and relentless ingenuity, they reached the core and planted explosives, designed to cripple the ship permanently. As the dreadnought erupted in a cascade of fire and debris, the remaining Clithian forces faltered. Human fighters swooped in, striking at stragglers with unyielding resolve. Sol-9's defenders pushed the invaders back into retreat, their screams echoing across the scarred valleys. When the battle ended, the human forces stood victorious. Though the planet bore the marks of war, Commander Arya Kane surveyed the horizon, exhaustion heavy but pride unbroken. "They thought they could break us," she whispered. They did not understand the heart of humanity. "We fight, we endure, and we triumph." News of the victory spread across the galaxy. Empires who once mocked humanity now whispered their name in fear and respect. Humans had faced overwhelming odds, survived and proved that courage, ingenuity, and sheer determination could overcome even the most impossible threats. Sol-9 would heal, but its defenders had proven a timeless truth. Humans were unpredictable, relentless, and unstoppable. The galaxy would remember this day, the day humanity stood not as prey but as legends.